Well, it's obviously now with Treasury to get a final decision with the Prime Minister's office, and we have a budget coming up in the coming days, which I suppose optimistically one might hope corporation tax will be included in that, but I think realistically the prospect of that looks quite remote. For us, corporation tax we think is quite important. We think it's an important tool to have in Northern Ireland to be able to vary corporation tax, and particularly to be able to be competitive with our nearest neighbours. But for us it isn't a kind of win-all, lose-all situation. I mean, there are a whole range of other things we can do to stimulate growth and to grow business in Northern Ireland without corporation tax. Many of our businesses are small, medium-sized enterprises, micro businesses, for whom corporation tax is not the be-all and end-all in their perspective. And so we're looking to the things that can actually generate growth for them. Things like stimulating our economy and stimulating demand, things like bank lending and how we actually ensure that people can get access to finance, and also things like providing the skills that people need from young people who are emerging either from college or from school or from university, so that they're actually skilled and equipped to go into business, either as entrepreneurs or to support existing businesses, so that we get that skills match right. So I think there are lots of other weapons that we have in our armoury in terms of being able to get the economy restarted, but I think corporation tax is still important in terms of being a headline grabber for us as we go internationally to try and get that inward investment.
Northern Ireland obviously has a devolved administration and it gets its funding through a Barnett formula, but how effective do you think we're being at putting Northern Ireland in the centre of the cabinet agenda and all of the departments that still have an impact on it there, such as defence, health, treasury and so on?
Well, I think it is at times an uphill challenge in order, particularly in the current difficult economic climate where people are very much focused on their own electorate, and we have no one in government from Northern Ireland. So I think it's quite difficult and challenging at times to keep Northern Ireland at the forefront of what people are thinking of. But I think despite all of the difficulties that we may have as political parties in Northern Ireland, when we're in Westminster, we're in there to bat for the people of Northern Ireland, and we can do that quite effectively as a team of people together and working in cooperation with each other. And we would regularly meet with ministers and with others to try to make the case for Northern Ireland, and that can be quite a successful challenge. And also I believe that the Northern Ireland Affairs Select Committee can be quite a powerful tool, not just in engaging Northern Ireland politicians on Northern Ireland issues, but actually engaging other MPs more widely on Northern Ireland issues, looking at our economy, looking at things like our passenger duty, looking at all of those issues that impact on Northern Ireland society, and giving them a weight and an import in Parliament that comes from the fact that it comes from the Select Committee and not just from the Northern Ireland MPs. That gives a robustness of challenge, I think, to the government that otherwise would be absent, and I think that that's a hugely important tool that we have to use to our advantage.